John,
All right.
we're good.
Yeah, we're good to go, guys. So
we think we're good to
we
go.
think we're good to go, David. Yeah, yeah. Hey, perception is everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could be talking into the wind here, but
Yeah.
sorry we missed you guys last week. John and I had a great trip to South Carolina. We're going to talk about that a lot tonight. Damien is the first to experience John's no T-shirt gift.
Yeah, supposedly,
no, it's in the car.
Supposedly it's in the car.
It's in the car.
But I remember Dave hearing about the car T-shirt for the last 6 months. So
it's been almost a year, Damien.
Yeah, it's in
but
the
John
car.
finally admitted that there was no T-shirt coming. And
I noticed you got one on. That's a pretty sharp T-shirt. I like that golf shirt.
I bought it myself.
That's pretty sharp.
Yeah.
Much better looking shirt than what John's got.
Okay. He had a lot to choose from.
Well, that's what I want to talk about. I asked John this. So first night we get in at 4:30 in the morning. We take a nap. We have a nice breakfast, and then John takes me shopping. And what, downtown Clemson, or what would you call it, downtown? Yeah. Okay. So I've never seen.
It's not real big, but it's
but restaurants,
Clemson.
bars, and shops.
Yeah.
Well, every single shop was only Clemson stuff, and these are big shops. These are not small, little tiny like corner shops. And I asked John. I said, they don't have any NFL stuff, with what's around here. They don't have any baseball, anything. Everything's Clemson oriented. I've never seen anything like it. John, you want to explain this?
Nah, it's just that's all everybody cares about, man.
But how can that little town support 20 stores full of Clemson gear? Different, everything's like, T-shirts are like each other or whatever. But but it was unbelievable to see. So I did. So I in our first shop we went to, I didn't buy anything because I asked John. He goes, "Don't worry, there's got plenty to see." Yeah. So I found something I like. I put it back. We go to the next store and I find this Nike shirt just like this, almost identical, for $72, and I bought it because I loved it. It was comfortable. I bought it. Our last shop of the day, I walk out on their clearance rack outside, and it's not Nike, but it's the same material. It's exactly the same color, and it's exactly the same logo for $29.
Yeah.
So, and it was the same shop, but they had different locations.
Yeah, called Tiger Sports.
Tiger Sports. So they said, "Oh, you can just return that here." So I got this for $45 less than the Nike one.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's the exact same shirt. So here is my first and only Clemson shirt, and I'm proud wearing it today.
They just don't care about Panthers and Falcons and Braves and all that stuff.
Lions, Tigers, and Bears.
And
Lions, Tigers. They care about the Tigers.
Yeah.
But not the Lions or the Bears.
And it was not purchased by John, just for the record.
No, David bought it.
No, but he would have bought me one if I asked. Yeah. But we had a lot.
Shouldn't have had to ask. Waiting for a year.
I agree, but let me tell you, John, the hospitality that I was shown way more than made up for any T-shirt that could have ever been. I was treated like family back home. I mean, we get out of the car and they don't even know me, and I'm getting hugs. I'm already treated. If you're with Boykin, the tone was, if you're with Boykin, you're family. Yeah. How do you like that?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great time.
And I was treated like family the entire weekend. It was great.
Yep.
Yeah. It was everything he said it was going to be and more. I've never experienced anything like that other than the 2011 Game 6 World Series. And I would put that experience pretty close.
Yep.
That place was rocking.
Yep.
I have a video of that place rocking, and it doesn't do it justice. You have to go and experience it for yourself.
Even though we didn't get a night game.
No. That would have been probably a little. I didn't understand the real difference to me, right? Yep. I thought maybe a noon game would be great. It was hot.
Yeah, you've been to a lot of noon NFL games.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, noon game's cool, got the rest of the day, but the difference that crowd can make on a noon game versus a night game is substantial.
Well, if it's the way it was as a noon game, I can't even imagine what a night game would be. That place, you could feel the energy, like 84,000 people rocking. Yeah. I mean, it was worth every bit of that 12 hours each way trip. I can't wait to go back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Everybody always usually loves it, It's always
I did say, I'll see you guys, the family that we stayed with, John's family. I said, I hope I can come back next year. They said, as long as you leave John at home. That's exactly what they said. But they love John, their family. And I tell you what, I had a wonderful time. So the only thing that could have been better is bringing home a win. And I'm sure John will go over that a little bit. But that was a disgusting loss.
Yeah, that was painful for me because, remember, I told you Clemson would be about a 3-point underdog, and I was going to bet them. They were a 2.5-point underdog, and I did bet them.
Well, I bet 200 on the money line. I
would-
got plus 115. What'd you
Yeah,
get?
I just bet them plus 2.5.
Okay.
I just thought it'd be a close game. I'm going to take 2.5.
What's wrong?
I'd like to thank the field goal kicker for Clemson. I guess I should have gone with them and kicked field goals. God
yeah,
knows
I think 80% of the high school kickers in South Carolina could have made that kick.
David.
But, I mean, in the kids'
Hey.
defense, they just pulled him off the beach a week ago.
So David Sanders says, must have been a fun drive back from South Carolina after Clemson game. Well, I'll tell you what, David, I'll be real honest. I think I complained about the game more than John did. It was pretty close.
Everybody did. It was
Yeah.
just disgusting.
It was disgusting. Florida State had 25 rushing yards.
Yep.
Time
in the
of
second half. 2 yards in the second half.
Time of possession was dominated by Clemson. I think it was 5 minutes more? I think that's a lot more in a college game, right? I think it was 5-6 minutes more. Yeah. I mean, first half was
First downs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close all the way around. And to lose like they did, it was. I think I was just as heartbroken as John. But we had a great time on the way back. We couldn't believe it. You know, another game that I couldn't believe we watched after the Clemson game was like one hit after the other. I didn't bet it, but the Notre Dame game.
Yeah.
How did they lose? Right? Last play of the game?
Yeah.
Well,
Right?
it helps if you have all 11 of your defensive players on the field.
Well, that's true.
For the last 2 plays.
They didn't have. They only had 10
Instead of just having 10 of them.
Yeah. They only had 10 on the field the last 2 plays of the game. For the game-winning touchdown, Notre Dame only had 10 players. So, yeah, that's pretty remarkable. I mean, you think big schools with as much money as involved in these games can have a guy counting players at least. You know, making sure there's all 11 players on the field.
Well, I mean that's strictly that's blame it on the coach. Period. End of discussion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Blame it on the coach.
Absolutely. But yeah, Clemson had 25 first downs. Florida State had 16. Florida State 4 of 13 on third down. Total yards: Clemson 429, Florida State 311. Rushing yards:
Yeah, this is unbelievable.
146 for Clemson, 22 for
22, not 25. I'm sorry, I gave him 25.
1.1 yard a carry for
Yeah.
Florida State.
Yeah.
You don't win too many games rushing for 1.1 yard a carry.
You do if you're playing this Clemson team because they just find a way to give games away.
Well, and here's the biggest takeaway, John and I said it many times during the game. I go, John, what's up with this play calling? I don't understand. I don't understand the play calling.
Yeah, like the play calling down the stretch regulation leaves a lot to be desired. And they had a 2nd and 1, ran a horrible semi-trick play when they didn't need to.
When they were down kicking the game.
I mean they're running the football. Yeah, they're running the football. They're running the football effectively, and they just what on earth are you thinking? And
that was Garrett Riley's call. Dabo said in the post game. I did watch the post game press conference, and I mean he did say that was a call that Garrett liked and wanted to use. So that I did find out the 3rd and 1 in overtime when it's 3rd and 1 and we decided to throw a wide receiver screen to Adam Randall 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage on the boundary for some reason. That was an RPO that K checked out of the run to because there were 2 defenders. There were 2 Florida State defenders on the end and 3 Clemson wide receivers. That's why he did that. But still, he shouldn't even have the option to check out of it.
Right.
It should have been a run 100%.
You've got 2 downs to get. You got 2 downs to get a first down.
2 downs to get a yard.
Yeah. If you can't run with your
Was
your
it
running
strong as Shipley and Moffel were running the ball?
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
Absolutely.
I was just baffled that all I said to John was it wasn't in the turnover, it wasn't a missed field goal, it was play calling throughout the game. I didn't get it.
Yeah,
you can go back to several. Well, that too, but
you should not be missing a 29-yard field goal. I mean, there's no one to blame but the kicker. The snap was perfect, the hold was perfect, the ball placement was perfect. How you shanked a 29-yard field goal under those circumstances?
I turned to everybody behind me and turned to David and said, "Hey, y'all! I don't think we've ever been more nervous for a 29-yard field goal."
I turned my back. I couldn't even watch. I could hear by the silence of the crowd he missed it.
Yeah.
I thought he made it at first.
You
'cause I
thought he
couldn't-
made it.
Yeah,
You
'cause
were the
we
only
were-
one that was
the way we
yelling.
were positioned.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell if it curled over the upright or not.
But the seats that we had were amazing, by the way.
Yeah, we had good.
We had good seats.
Yeah.
We were halfway up the first row, the first set of seats, halfway up on the 5-yard line.
Yeah.
And you could see everything great. And then right by the Dabotron, which was enormous, and you could see everything.
Yeah, it's a cool little place, man. Like they say, if you're a college football fan and you got one game to experience, put Clemson on your list.
I don't know what else could have been better.
Yeah.
I really don't.
And
Maybe,
I've been to a lot of
and I hate to say it, but maybe an Alabama game. I don't know.
Well, I've been to a lot of different venues, and I try to enjoy them as a college football fan, but I'm always let down. I'm like,
I'll show you a video.
Yeah.
Later. Maybe we can.
And I went to a Michigan.
Wonder how
Ohio
we can
State.
post that video. It's
Yeah,
too
we'll
long.
Figure out how to post
It's
it.
too
maybe or
long, I
something.
think.
We'll have to ask Russell, but
yeah.
I mean, I went to a Michigan Ohio State game in 2012, and it was it wasn't an atmosphere at all. Went to an Alabama LSU game in 2013. That was a good atmosphere, but still, it just I don't know. And then I can't even go to NFL games anymore because it's not going to be the same
So
experience.
I didn't
So
understand really what John was talking about till I went. I mean, there's no
NFL game that's going to be.
There's
like
nothing
that
could have been like that.
Yeah.
Maybe
It's gonna have to be an
the
NFC
Super Bowl,
championship
or
game
a Super Bowl,
Bowl.
yeah.
A Super Bowl,
But
wouldn't even
Super
be
Bowl
like
is a
that
neutral
because
site, so
a
it won't
Super
be
Bowl
like
is a
that.
neutral site,
Exactly.
and only the rich people can go basically can
Exactly.
afford to go to Super Bowl game.
Yeah.
You don't hear craziness out of the fans at a Super Bowl. Maybe a championship game between one of the AFC or NFC title games, you might get that type of intensity from the fans.
Yeah.
If it's a good game, but you're not.
Yeah. So I can't even go to an NFL regular season game.
I get it.
Like,
Now I get it. I used to say, "What is he talking about? It can't be that big a deal." I wanted to go see for myself, and I did.
I'll tell you, like a game that would probably be really fun to go to in NFL. Probably the closest you might get to it would be when Buffalo goes to Kansas City later this year.
yeah.
What about a Green Bay game?
Yeah, I mean, I did play Green Bay tonight. Full disclosure, don't love it, but I played them tonight. I like getting 2.5 at home in a game where I think the teams are basically even.
Yeah.
So I'm taking the 2.5. I took the 2.5. But I just, I've actually heard, and I have not been to a Packer game. I've heard more good things about tailgating at Kansas City. I've heard that's the best tailgating, basically. And I'm a diehard Steeler fan. I've been to the Steelers games, and the tailgating is pretty phenomenal. But basically, any independent person will tell you tailgating at a Chiefs game when the Chiefs are good is absolutely the best you could do.
No, I disagree. What I saw Saturday.
I'm talking
just
about
saying.
NFL.
Okay.
I knew David was going to say that.
I'm just talking. I'm talking an NFL game, and
I
if you're
don't
playing,
even know what to
and if
compare it to.
if you're like I say, if they're playing a legitimate team,
Right. Yeah.
it's not like if you're playing the Raiders.
It's almost
who
like
were
we have to
4 and
recruit people
12.
to go next
I
time,
know.
right? You have to see it for yourself, and it will not disappoint.
Some outside of one of the frat houses, they had a big sheet, and on the big bed sheet, it had FSU on it, and FSU stood for Florida's shittiest university.
Show them the picture.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, the problem, like next year, Clemson will not have Notre Dame or Florida State at home.
Oh yeah, there's reports today that like by October, Gene Sapikoff of the Charleston Post and Courier broke some story today. But like by October, there's a board of trustee meeting, and they found a way out of the grant of rights. So Clemson may be gone this year, along with
Sure it's needed?
I don't know. These other,
No.
they want if they go to the Big Ten, they've said they want a Southern nucleus. They want to go to the SEC, or if they go to the Big Ten, they want a Southern nucleus.
I don't see any way. Clemson is not academically strong enough to qualify for the Big Ten. That will not happen. I'm telling you right now, Clemson will not go to the Big Ten. Maybe they get in the SEC. They are not going to the Big Ten. Not going to happen.
But I mean,
academics are way too weak for the Big Ten. Way too weak.
Iowa?
Clemson's academics are one of the worst of a major school in the country. Look it up. Clemson is not getting into the Big Ten.
But
They're
Iowa?
not. Iowa's
like
Iowa's accredited. Clemson's not. Yeah, like there's a reason why certain schools can't. The Big 12 or when the Big 10 was expanding, there's reasons why they would only take certain schools or even talk to certain schools. You have to have there's like a minimum. There's a minimum academic requirement for the Big 10 to even consider taking you in.
I mean, with all of
I mean,
the,
it's now that I think about it, though, it's possible it might have changed since they admitted USC. So it is possible they may have changed because USC is not one of the USC is also not one of the more
All right.
they're not known for their academics either.
I don't mean to
just leave
switch
it
this
at
up,
that.
but I do want to finish because the food. We got to get to the food.
yeah,
We got to get to the
yeah.
food. I mean, it's not the healthiest food in the world.
Right. We're not talking
I mean,
about
it's automatically everything on the menu is fried.
that.
Yeah.
Well,
Pretty
lot of it,
close.
yeah.
A lot of. I did not. You can't go.
Or
You can't.
baked.
Baked. That's true.
All
yeah.
the casseroles are baked.
I did have some of the best ice cream I've ever had. I will say that. That little shop that we went to.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, we had some good food.
yeah.
We had some
Yeah.
really good food.
Yeah.
So I
the meat
learned-
3 at the end of the trip
meat-
was
meat-
really good.
We got meat and
I got to
three.
get my squash casserole.
Well, you and your casseroles, but yeah. So what I learned down there. I mean, we're ordering after the game. Very nice. John's aunt, if that's what John's aunt, for all intents purposes, right? His aunt treats us all to dinner at this place called Arnold's, and I'm going through the menu, and I just said I want a chili dog. He goes, "You want a chili dog, or you want a hot dog with chili?" Explain, please explain.
A hot dog comes with chili.
And when you're in South Carolina, if you order a hot dog, it automatically comes with chili.
Yeah, you don't have to differentiate.
Here,
If
You
you
want-
don't, if you want a hot dog without chili, you have to say without chili.
Yeah.
Or they have it called all the way,
all the way.
where that means ketchup, mustard, onion, mayonnaise. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mayonnaise.
Tom got that. You got hot dog. Never heard of a chili dog with mayonnaise.
Yeah.
No.
Oof,
No.
God, I feel my arteries clogging.
Ketchup.
Not,
Ketchup, mustard,
not mayonnaise.
onions.
Yeah, mayonnaise.
They put a lot of slaw on everything
Yeah.
too. I don't like slaw.
See, I
at
like
all.
slaw.
I don't like none of
like
that
it.
stuff. I'm a plain eater. Just plain with cheese, you know.
I'm nauseous just thinking about the mayonnaise and a chili.
Yeah, it's called
Yeah.
all the way. I don't like it at all.
I put it in my mouth.
Yeah. All the way.
Russell would put that in his mouth.
Well,
There
Yeah.
doesn't seem to be much Russell wouldn't put in his mouth.
Wow.
He'd put
Cut his mic
If
off.
he put that in there.
Wow. What is going on here today? John, John, do what you do best and change the subject.
well, I'm not going all the way in the hot dog world. I'm more plain.
Yeah.
He's cut off.
But,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, you are on mute. Damien, you're on mute. Yeah.
You're in the mute corner. 30 seconds.
Damien, where'd your personality come from?
That's right.
Well, the fact that we got the professional sound guy in here to do things properly is
Oh, there it is. There it is.
very helpful.
There it is.
There he is, right
There
there,
it
the
is.
professional sound
Thank
guy.
you very much, Russell.
You want something done right, you have this guy do it.
Wow.
The sound guy's here. Oh, I don't
Yeah.
want to
So
I almost had to tell my favorite story. My Pat Day story. Hi, Pat. How you doing?
the old
What?
Auburn coach.
No, I'll tell you off there.
Pat, the old Auburn coach. Pat Day
yes,
was
yes,
in the 80s.
yes, the old Pat Day
Yeah.
story. We'll just go with that.
Yeah,
All right.
the old Auburn coach.
Yes. Yeah, the jockey, Pat Day.
Oh, that guy. Oh, yeah, he was
Yeah.
a jockey too. He was a
The Auburn
jockey.
coach, Pat Dye,
Oh yeah,
not Day.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
something close.
The old Auburn coach.
Is that his name, Pat Day, the old Auburn coach?
I think it was
Pat
Pat Dye.
Pat
Dye.
Dye.
80s. He was at Auburn in the 80s. Yeah, he's the coach that put Bear Bryant out the door.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't want to say that
I
too loud.
believe he was the coach. I believe he was Bo Jackson's coach.
Who's?
Bo Jackson.
Phil Jackson.
Bo.
Bo Jackson.
I don't know what's going on
Bo
here.
knows.
Just hang with
Bo
us.
knows.
Bo
It's
John
gonna get-
don't. but
This is
Bo
gonna
knows.
this is gonna get much more entertaining as the evening
No, I thought
progresses.
he
And
said
we haven't
Phil Jackson.
even started
He was
drinking yet.
Bo's coach.
Yeah.
He recruited Bo.
This crew needs no alcohol.
Yeah.
Oh,
Funny
I need
story.
alcohol. Believe me.
So
Well,
Bo's,
there's one of us that is not sober here.
one of the Alabama recruiters, David, they sit down with Bo Jackson, one of the Alabama recruiters, and it's a slam dunk. Everybody goes to Alabama, right? And he says something about, you don't even need to take that trip to Auburn. you're going to go to Alabama. So he was pissed off after that. So he did what the guy told him not to do, and he went to Auburn.
Oh, wow.
And that helped Bear Bryant retire.
Okay.
I don't want to say that too loud. These Alabama fans can be crazy sometimes. They've been known to kill trees,
Right.
to poison trees, and call in on the Fine Bob show and tell on themselves and get 3 years in prison.
Who are you?
You don't know that story?
No.
You don't know that one?
You don't know that story?
They poisoned a tree. Was it Tumor's
Oh,
Corner?
you told me that.
Yeah,
Yeah, you said it
I'm
last
pretty
year.
sure we've done
Yeah,
that.
yeah. The guy went to
story.
jail.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I just said.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He admitted
Yeah,
on
yeah.
radio that,
He was
yeah.
proud of it.
Yeah. He
They
said,
tracked him, and
yeah, I was down at the Iron Bowl, and you know what they did? They put a Scam Newton jersey on Bear Bryant's statue. So you know what I did? I went and poisoned the 2 tumors trees.
yep.
They're gonna die.
He went to jail, what, for how long?
For 3 years. He said
For
they're
3
gonna.
years.
They're
For
gonna
poisoning
die.
a tree.
And he did poison them. They
He
were.
said they're gonna die, and Feinbaum said, I think that's illegal, sir." Yeah, he said, "I think that's illegal." He said, "Do you think I give a damn?"
Yep.
Roll Tide. And hangs
Roll,
up the phone.
roll Tide. He rolled
Yeah.
Tide in jail. he,
Yep.
that's scary.
Yeah, that's the only reason they caught the guy. The trees did die.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
You told that last year. I forgot about it.
Yeah.
So
Crazy.
24 hours in 4 days in a vehicle with John.
Yeah.
He's never driving again.
It wasn't that bad.
You're right. It wasn't that bad.
We made it.
We did.
How did the horse racing picks go while you were doing it?
You know
though?
what? That's what's crazy. We couldn't really bet the horses. In Georgia,
Oh,
in the
yeah.
state of Georgia and South Carolina, you cannot use your horse racing account.
Yeah.
Excuse me, and you can't even watch them. So, but we did find TVG or
Yeah,
FanDuel,
it's on Direct
and
TV.
I was allowed to use an offshore an account, but I only put like $30 on it and had some fun. But it really wasn't. We couldn't watch the races when we wanted to. So even
it was-
driving back, it was too late. By the time we got to the states where we could use our Twin Spires account, it was too late.
And he was allowed to use the side bedroom TV that nobody was watching on Saturday.
Yeah, yeah, because you weren't going to be
You
able.
weren't using the main TV.
You weren't
to
using the
watch
main TV. It was on
horse
college.
racing on Saturday.
No,
Yeah.
I changed the station to horse racing, and Sue came in. It's like she just gave me a look. I quickly went with the back button, and the Notre Dame game came on real fast. Like I found out real quick, you do not change the channel.
Yeah, you
And
might,
if you do change the channel, it better be another college football game.
Yeah.
you might have
Yeah.
got disinvited if you would have left it.
I want to tell you something was really funny. Like, when somebody says make yourself at home and you've been there a day and a half, and I was on the most comfortable love seat couches or whatever I've ever been on. And there's this big ottoman, right? How do you say ottoman?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, and my feet were barely on it, and I'm laid out in this thing. And Sue comes in, she says, "You comfortable?" I was like, "Oh my God, did I still overstep my boundaries?" Like, she goes, "No, just push that in." But
Yeah.
it was nice. Yeah, I was treated like unbelievable. But I thought I'm laid out like
No.
this on the couch. But yeah, take your shoes off, put your feet up, and watch some football and eat good food.
Yeah.
Sounds terrible, doesn't it?
That's why another reason I like the night games better, because you can, watch a little bit of the noon games before you leave to go to the game.
But even at the tailgating, everybody's got a TV. There's
Yeah.
some kind of college football game on as you walk throughout. I've never seen anything like the tailgating there.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why spots are so expensive. You understand why they're
Yeah.
so expensive now.
Yeah. So your aunt
It's like your own little
Your
party.
aunt has like a parking spot
Yeah, she's purchased it for life.
for life.
It's like $25,000.
Yeah.
You can purchase that little
Yeah.
spot for life.
It's tailgating spots and then park for
Yeah.
it's unbelievable. 25 grand for life for this spot.
Yep. It's your little piece of property.
Just for 6 times a year.
Yep.
That's what's
16.
crazy. For 6 afternoons a year or evenings or whatever it is.
Yep.
But yeah, I know people know how to tailgate wherever they're from, but they might want to check this one out. That's all I got to say.
Yep.
They'll give them whatever a run for their money.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have too much experience in the tailgating world, but like I said, what I experienced Saturday was above and beyond what John could have ever. You can't even explain it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know, David. I've
I
been
know.
trying to explain it for 17
Yeah.
years.
I'll just agree with John and much more. That's all I can say.
Yep.
If
You know what's funny? Growing up as a little kid, until I was about 15, 16, I used to love Florida State. I used to be a huge Bobby Bowden fan because when I was a kid, I was about 13 years old. They did the FCA, Fellowship Christian Athletes, and when I was in high school, I took part in that. And Bobby Bowden got to speak, and I got to meet Warwick Dunn. If you guys remember Warwick Dunn, yeah, he was there at Florida State and stuff. So I became a huge Florida State fan because of those guys. And then as I started to leave and like come up here when I was 19 years old, I'm like, wow, it's different. Clemson's pretty cool.
well, who was oh my God, I can't believe I forgot his name. The guy they had on the Dabotron getting everybody fired up.
Brian Dawkins.
Yeah.
He did the fourth quarter video.
Yeah, but he did other ones too.
They don't put championship rings on smooth hands, Damien. You got to earn it.
You would be just as excited as us if you had gone.
Yeah.
We might have to recruit you next time.
Yeah, Brian Dawkins.
Yep.
He was a 90
former All-Pro safety for the Eagles.
Yeah.
But you know what? If you don't want the 12-hour drive with us, we'll pick you up at the airport.
Yep. Fly to Atlanta.
Fly to Atlanta. We'll pick you up. Yeah.
I'll be driving down to Florida in December just to drop off a car.
I'm flying to Atlanta. John will pick us both up.
Drive right through.
Yeah.
I don't think I want. I think I'm going to avoid Atlanta. I've heard horrible things about the traffic there.
Yeah,
it was
bad. Can be bad.
You know what? What did we hit? Chattanooga was terrible.
Oh, Chattanooga's always the worst.
Chattanooga's bad.
It's the worst because there's one highway and everybody going south meets. It bottlenecks for everybody going south to Florida, Alabama, Atlanta, everywhere.
That was awful.
Chattanooga's bad.
We added an extra 40-something minutes.
Yeah. But then I cut it off coming home.
Yeah. I
didn't mess around on that drive.
No. John has a lead foot.
David, I put him in the left lane and let him eat. That's the only way I know to do it. Put him in the left lane.
All I know is you better not be going the speed limit in the fast lane with John behind you.
I don't. Yeah, it irritates him. Move.
You're gonna force him off the road as close as you get.
I don't care what they do, park it or drive it. Just choose one.
He avoided the traffic tickets. I guess.
Yeah, I got a few of those, but hey, that's why they pay the lawyers. Keeping the lawyers in business.
John's equal opportunity to make a living.
Equal opportunity.
No, you know what? I think we only saw like a handful of police officers the whole drive, both ways.
Yeah. I didn't really see a lot. No deer either. That was good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You usually see some deers like coming through Kentucky, Illinois.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Didn't see any deers thing.
So we're at the property of where we were staying. And he's like, yeah, out there you might see a mountain lion. You might see what else?
Wild hogs.
Wild hogs.
Wild hogs.
Wild hogs. Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah. Cows and bulls.
Yeah, pretty neat. Definitely not. You're not in St. Louis anymore.
You're not in the big city anymore, kid. Yep. You're not in the big city anymore. But it's the biggest little city in America on Saturdays.
Yeah. I know I keep talking about it. I had such a great time. I couldn't wait to do this just to talk about that. What's that? What are we at in time? We're going to take a break?
6:30.
All right. Hey, let's take a couple minute break.
Let's take a break, and then we'll recap last week's picks. We had a good week.
Yeah. Oh, we had a good week, but nobody knew about it.
I had a bad Sunday.
Yeah. We had a good Saturday, though.
Bad NFL.
All right, break time.
The NFL's the no fun league.
Domination. I've got a golden ticket. Got a golden ticket.
That's a winner!
John, you're back.
And we are back here at DraftKings at Casino Queen with David and Damian. Thursday night got Lions and Packers and 3 college football games. Not big name schools, but hey, if they're letting us bet on it, we're going to bet on it.
That's right.
So
I need Detroit. I bet Detroit to win the division. So this is a big game for my bet. Would you say, Damien?
Yeah.
It is a big game for your bet. I bet the
Yeah.
other way.
Yeah, I know
I
you
have
did.
Green Bay.
Green Bay at home.
Yeah, but if Detroit can win tonight, and they're 2.5-point favorites.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, what's the over under? 45.5.
Yes, it is.
45 and a half.
I like the under a little bit. I know
I'm
you
going
like
to roll
the
with
under.
the under, too.
I did also roll with the under. in the
Oh,
game.
3 unders.
Oh.
Ooh. I do like the under. I think this will be a close game. Jordan Love's a nice surprise this year, I have to say. I think so. I think he's doing well.
I will tell you a prop bet I played Amon-Ra St. Brown over 71.5 yards. Last year, Green Bay held him under 50 yards both games. But last year, Green Bay had Jair Alexander covering him. Jair Alexander is not playing in this game. I expect St. Brown to have, St. Brown's gone over 80 in all 3 games, and he's, he even missed some time in 2 of the 3.
Yeah.
I like St. Brown in this game to go over his yardage total.
Yeah, he's
So-
got him on my fantasy team. He's been pretty solid this year so far.
I have him on every fantasy team. He was a guy I rode with, along with unfortunately Garrett Wilson. I may have to play taps on that one.
Well, we got a couple props early. Like, hey, 2 weeks ago we hit one of these. Damien.
Yeah, we did. So, 2 weeks ago with the Minnesota-Philadelphia game, we told you before we went off the air that we bet both tight ends to be the first scorer of the game and to be the first touchdown of the game. And TJ Hawkinson came through at plus 2,000 for us. So we had a nice little celebration with that. Today, once again, we put a small amount on 2 different players. We took Jalen Reed of the Packers at plus 2,100. And then we took Amon-Ra St. Brown at plus 875 for Detroit to be the first touchdown scorer. So that way, no matter who has the ball, we have a little something to cheer for.
Yeah.
So we took a flyer on those, and
Yeah, that Hawkinson bet came through last week.
yeah. 2
Wait a
weeks ago.
second. I got something to share, John, on the drive down there.
Oh, yeah, he bet a Ronnie Bell.
Last Thursday
Yeah,
night.
Yeah.
Last Thursday night, we're on our way to Clemson. John, you tell it better than I do.
He put $5 on Kittle to score a touchdown.
The first touchdown.
Yeah, the first touchdown.
And he was like 15-1.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he's like, see if Kittle scored the first touchdown. So I'm looking, I'm like, nah, it's not Kittle. It's some no-name Ronnie. It's some no-name Ronnie Bell. And David goes, oh, I had Ronnie Bell. I didn't know who that was, but I had Ronnie Bell.
45-1 to have the first touchdown.
$25 to win.
$5
$5
to win 255.
250.
255.
Nice.
Yeah.
My
Boom.
my one big prop bet was George Kittle over his receiving yards last week.
You got
So,
that right.
I came down here and bet Kittle for 200 over his receiving yards. I got it at 42.5. It ended up going off at 51.5.
Wow.
After Brandon Ayuk was declared out.
Oh, wow. What did he end up getting?
7 for 90.
90 yards. Didn't even have to sweat it.
Well, he had 20.
Those are the
He had
best
28
ones.
at halftime.
Oh, okay.
Or 26. I'm sorry, he had 26 at halftime. And my buddies,
That's
they were giving me a lot of crap about it because they knew I
I'm
bet
getting
Kittle
sued
over.
for.
Mhm.
And I told them I still think
That's
he's going to
pretty
go over.
crazy.
And they're like, oh, his at halftime, his total for halftime was only 41.5. And I said, I still think he's going to
It's
go
not.
over. He had 2 for 26 at half and ended up 7 for 90. So it was that San Francisco last Thursday was real good for me.
Those are the best ones when you don't even have to sweat them.
Sunday football was very good to me.
Sunday
David
football
went. I
was
went
brutal
4-0.
for- Sunday football was brutal
yeah.
for me.
You stayed
early.
away from all the teams that were supposed to win, though.
Huh?
All the teams that were supposed to win,
Yeah.
like Baltimore
That was the only-
Jacksonville.
That was
No,
the
but I had
only
the full-
game I
I-
got right was Indianapolis in the early.
I had
third
Indy
set.
plus 8.5. I had San Fran minus 10.
That
I
was
had
Thursday, yeah.
Well, this is my what I had on these groups. I hit all my parlays except one.
Hit Miami.
I had Miami minus the points, and I had Detroit minus the points. Thank you very much.
Yep.
It was a terrible Sunday for me.
Yeah, for John, it wasn't so good. I crushed it on Sunday, John.
I'm staying away from the NFL.
So I turned
Done with it.
that 200 we got from Hodgkinson, right? How you say it?
Hawkinson.
Hodgkinson? I put I put in my account. Anyway, I turned that in, all that into a little over 630, cash out.
Would have been 400 if Clemson would have won.
It would have been 4 more hundred. I put 200 on Clemson at plus 115. So that's 430 back. Cool 1,000. But that's okay. I'll take off a $10 start. I cashed out 638. Not bad.
No.
I'll take that. all day.
Nice ROI there.
Yeah. I did have one loss because one of my parlays did not win. Instead of using Detroit, I got a little, too complicated with myself. Instead of Detroit money line or minus the points, I went with the over in that game.
Oh.
So I had a 4-teamer that was paying 323, and it was a 3-teamer paying 323, and I didn't hit that. It's the only one I didn't hit Sunday, but I hit the other 3. It was a good Sunday.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a good Saturday though.
Yeah, good Saturday for you. I didn't really bet. All I bet was the Clemson game on Saturday. I didn't bet anything else. I didn't have any heart to bet anything else. Notre Dame would have been a good bet. I like that. Should take
Yeah.
Notre Dame in the
Well, it
points.
ended up closing at 3, so it ended up being a push for.
Was
most
a push?
people. Yeah.
Okay.
I had the under on
I thought it was
UCLA
3.5.
Utah.
No?
Closed at 3.
Closed at 3? Okay. All right.
Yeah,
How did Notre Dame did not win?
yeah, that was, I don't know.
Yeah, we've already talked about the lack
Sick.
of coaching.
Yeah, just I don't know how you don't have guys to count players. I mean, one guy to count 11 hats at all times.
Coming out of
I
a
mean,
time,
what-
coming out of a timeout with 7 seconds left, you had 10 people on the field.
You have an equipment manager do it. I mean, or something. Oh, the water boy. Just have him count to 11 each time. Like, it's just unbelievable. But I didn't do the. I did the under on Notre Dame, Ohio State. I hit that under. I had under on UCLA, Utah. Had I think the only thing I missed was Ole Miss plus 7. Bama kind of took care of business, I guess.
You crushed South Carolina, Mizzou.
Yeah, had South Carolina minus 6.5 against Mississippi State. Mississippi State looks like maybe the worst team in the SEC, them and Vandy, of course. Mississippi State's in trouble. They are not looking good at all. I had the over in Boston College, Louisville, and I had an under live bet in Boston College, Louisville, 94.5, David. How do you like that for a line?
Yeah.
94.5. Had the under on that. Hit that live. Louisville scored 42 points in the first half. That is hard to do. But hit that one. Another team that's in kind of trouble this year, the Illini. Illinois is in trouble. They're not going to be very good at all.
Yeah.
They struggled against Florida Atlantic. FAU's not a very good team. Illinois just lost a lot. Lost Chase Brown to the NFL. They lost a lot, and they look like they're in trouble. Kansas takes care of BYU at home. Kansas getting 16.5 this week, Damian. That's an interesting game.
You're catching Texas right before the Oklahoma. Right before the
I told you,
Right
BK
before the
sounds
Red
right.
River rivalry. Yep.
I have a feeling Kansas might be a good play there. Texas getting squeezed here in that one.
Yeah, getting a lot of points, Kansas is. Maryland, Michigan State. I had the under in Maryland, Michigan State. Under on Michigan State games is going to bring a lot of value. They're in flux right now with losing Mel Tucker the way they lost him. They didn't have much of an offense to speak of before losing him. So that team's just kind of in flux.
that whole situation is just an embarrassment. If you ask me, Michigan State's just trying to get out from under the $80 million contract. Well, I've done a lot of research on that, heard a lot of everything going on about that. Mel Tucker's getting railroaded. Now, granted, he's a horrible coach, and he hasn't recruited well. Michigan State's not happy with him, but they're really pulling some garbage out here, just trying to get out from under the contract. Because if they can get out from under the contract,
They can fire him for cause.
for cause,
Right.
then they don't have to pay him the $70 million roughly he's left owed. But what's happening to him is absolutely criminal. I'm really hoping Mel Tucker wins that lawsuit. As much as I don't like Mel Tucker, and he's a bad coach, and I don't like all the virtue signaling he's done, I can't stand when somebody gets railroaded even more. And he is absolutely getting railroaded.
Yeah. It's,
Wow.
It's
it's a
embarrassing.
strange
Wow.
story.
I hear
Yeah,
everything.
just I don't want to get too hard
Wow.
into it on the
Legitimacy.
radio, to fear of offending maybe a few people.
Now
Do
that-
some
all right, now
research
you're
on
back
it.
in. All right.
And if you do any research on it, you're just going to scratch your head on it. You're going to be like, "How the hell is this happening in the United States right now?"
Yeah.
It's
a strange story.
really bad.
Yeah.
It's the only
And
thing I do
Arkansas
well.
plus 18.5 against
It's the only thing I do
LSU.
well.
I don't know if LSU is good enough to beat anybody by 18 and a
Yeah.
half, really, like
Yeah.
consistently. They handled Mississippi State, but I think that's more of a reflection of how bad Mississippi State is rather than how good LSU can be. Arkansas loses to BYU. Looks like they can't do much at all. They're getting way too many points, though, going into LSU. LSU kicks a game-winning field goal to beat them. So LSU Ole Miss this week. That'll be an
Right,
interesting game.
The lineup for tonight. I only use one Green Bay player
Oh,
for my fantasy.
you got a little fantasy going?
Yeah, a little fantasy going tonight. I have to use Green Bay players. I just have to because I have to root for something.
Yeah.
I
We
played
talked
a
about
captain
Texas,
mode
Kansas,
DraftKings.
but, this
I'll show it.
I
to you.
looked at this as kind of a letdown spot too. Maybe Texas going to Waco. They really took care of business though. Kind of
When
shocked.
you're done.
38-6.
I mean, they didn't play very well the week before against Wyoming.
Yeah, they didn't. That game was tied going into the fourth quarter.
But like I said, they played very well down in Waco. Like I said, I just think this is a spot where you're looking ahead to Oklahoma.
Had UAB plus 42.5 against Georgia. So I loved UAB plus 42.5. Georgia hasn't covered against anybody all year. They're 0 for the year against the spread. They don't cover. Had the under in Ohio State. Had Mizzou. Had the MIZ-sters.
I was on the wrong side of that by half a point. I
Yeah.
had Memphis plus 6.5.
Had Mizzou there. Decent little win for them. Moves them to 4-0, I guess. So, who does Mizzou got this weekend? I haven't even looked.
Yeah.
Let me look. They're
Like,
no, yeah, that's Vandy.
Vandy.
They're going to Vandy. I hadn't looked, but they got to be 13.5 point favorites on
Yeah,
the
it's
road.
a little bigger than that.
Oh, it is.
They're over 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. So they got Vandy, then they got LSU coming to town. Look at this. Mizzou's going to be looking to go 6-0 against LSU.
Take Vandy in the points this weekend.
Yeah, it's a lot of points. I understand it. Mizzou's famous for letdowns. This team is not.
Mizzou's won their last 3 games against 2 really bad teams and 1 middling and a decent Kansas State game on a last-second field goal. They've won them by a total of 11 points.
Yeah.
Mizzou's not good. They've won. Congratulations, you're 4-0. You're still not good.
Yeah. They're
They-
still a
now
team
they're-
trying to find their identity.
They should beat Vanderbilt this week. I suspect that game's going to be surprisingly close. But, they're going to look ahead to LSU next week.
Yeah, Mizzou's got a great receiver. They got a pretty good receiving core overall, but they're just weak in a lot of spots, and that makes it where they don't cover a lot of games. They're not going to beat teams by 30 just because they don't have the talent to beat teams by 30. But that's going to be interesting going to after this Vanderbilt game next week. LSU Mizzou top 25 matchup in Columbia.
And then
They
they go,
can
then they go to
muster some-
Kentucky.
They can muster some strength to beat that LSU team and be 6-0.
LSU will
It'll
lay
be
waste to Mizzou.
Yeah, it very well could happen. But that's going to be a big.
Oh, I mean, I say
That's going to be
LSU plays Ole Miss on the road again this week, and then
Yep.
they go to Mizzou. Jeez, I realized. I mean, LSU's schedule's really brutal to start the year,
mhm.
and then they go to Mizzou the following week. Oh, I mean, Mizzou could be catching LSU at a good time.
Yeah.
I might have to.
That's going to be Drinkowitz's biggest game he's ever coached.
I might have to back down on the LSU crushing Mizzou. It might depend on how LSU plays this week. I believe LSU plays Alabama the week after they play Mizzou. So Mizzou might catch LSU at the right time.
Yeah, biggest game Drinkwitz has ever coached, ever. To go 6-0, beating LSU at home like that, that'll be the biggest game he's coached at Mizzou. Probably the biggest game he's ever coached. And then they got Kentucky, South Carolina at home against Mizzou. They go to Georgia and Tennessee, Missouri. They got Tennessee at home, and then Arkansas at Arkansas to end the year. So sets up kind of nice for them if they can catch this LSU team. If they can beat LSU, go 6-0, they'll be bowl eligible on October 7th. A dream start for Mizzou if that happens. Just a dream of a start. So we'll see what happens there. Let me see what that line is on Mizzou.
They're like
what do you think it is?
16 and a half when I saw it last.
Oh, you did see it? Okay.
Yeah. They were between 14 and 17.
Let me see. It's changed here.
Just keep it there.
Well, it says it's down 13 and a half.
Yeah, I think I've seen 13 and a half. Being kind of slow loading up on me here, but yeah, Athlon Sports has it 13 and a half. It looks like
We should have got the sheets to show you what the lines are for the weekend.
Yeah, 13 and a half. 13 and a half. Yep. Minus 550 on the money line.
Vanderbilt might be worth a flyer on that.
Nah, I can't take the Commodores. I can't take them on a flyer. But yeah, I think I can see what you're saying about not being able to cover. Mizzou hadn't really covered too many games that they were supposed to. Like, they don't beat anybody by 30 if you think about it. Even the teams are supposed to. First game of the year against South Dakota, they only win that game by 14 or something. So
They won by like 24, and they were 27, I believe. And it was
Yeah.
34-10 or something like that.
they just 30. Yeah, they just don't. They don't beat teams. They don't crush them like they you see a lot of schools do.
I'll tell you, a really nice game tomorrow is Utah and Oregon State. That's your Friday night fun for the Utah is absolutely loaded defensively.
Yep.
One of the best defensive teams in the country.
Yep. We're going to find out what DJ Ukulele's got tomorrow.
Well, he played pretty well against Washington State in a game they lost by 3.
Yep.
They were favored in that game. I believe Utah's quarterback is still out, which is why Oregon State's favored. But I'm just Utah. That game's going to be a dogfight. That Utah Oregon State game Friday night, and Cincinnati BYU might be a little sneaky decent game. Cincinnati.
What's the total on that?
On the Utah game, 44
No,
and a half.
Cincinnati.
48.
That's a low total. Well, that's because Cincinnati don't score. And they don't play a fast game.
They do not score. They don't play a fast game, and they're a 2-point favorite going into the mountains in BYU.
Yep.
Which is something that those C-level teams don't generally fare too well going up when they've never played up in that.
Yeah, 6,000 feet up in the air.
I'll just tell you, you might want to look at taking BYU in that game. So
BYU getting 2 points.
Yeah. And it's Saturday morning, you got the Jerry Jones game. Jerry Jones special, Texas A&M and Arkansas.
No, always in Jerry's world.
Always in Jerry's
world. That's a strange venue. Like, they put the middle of the year, A&M and Arkansas play a neutral site in Jerry's world.
Yep. And that should be a fun game.
And that's an interesting game because both of these teams have underperformed this year. They really have. A&M losing to Miami the way they lost to them. They lose Connor Wegman for the year, their quarterback. So what's A&M going to do now with Arkansas coming off an impressive game at LSU? So what are we going to get? The Arkansas we thought we were going to get? It's the Arkansas we thought we were going to get could beat this A&M team.
Yeah, I think that line's awful. A&M laying 6 seems real steep.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, this is
without their starting quarterback.
This is a game where John's going to hate hearing me say this. I believe Syracuse is going to beat Clemson. I believe the way Clemson.
Oh no.
I believe the way Clemson lost the game, going up to play in the Carrier Dome. And Syracuse is giving Clemson fits the last couple of seasons. Syracuse is much improved this year. Something tells me that Clemson's going to be suffering a hangover from the Florida State loss, and Syracuse is going to catch them in that dome.
Syracuse has a sneaky quarterback from South Carolina, by the way. From I believe he went to Wren High School. Oh, cool. Yeah. But yeah, Wren High School, Garrett Schrader. He's a sneaky guy. He's fast. He's got good acceleration. He'll get outside the pocket. So, I mean, I know Syracuse can give them fits, but I think this defense is going to be pissed off. I think this team is pissed off, and I think they're going to show it Saturday.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll wager a nice friendly drink next Thursday.
I don't think Syracuse will get over 17 points.
I will tell you Syracuse. I will bet you Syracuse wins the game. Giving you 6.5 points for a drink.
Well, I don't care. We don't care about the drink. I'm just.
Neither one of you drink.
Yeah.
I'll drink if I win a drink. I'm gonna drink. I'll put it right. I will put it right here and drink while we're doing on the show.
I'm going to say this. I don't think Syracuse is going to get more than 17 points.
You guys need to bet something that you both do. Neither one of you. You don't really drink.
When I win a bet, I drink.
Go bet against them. We're trying to bet against ourselves. I'm just saying. I don't think Syracuse is going to get more than 17 points. This defense is pissed off. They hadn't really given up points all year. The defense has it. Here's an interesting stat.
I will bet you Syracuse does score more than 17 points.
Nah. I find it hard-pressed.
What's
I'd be
the line?
highly
What's
let
the
down.
line? What's the team line?
I'm going to say Syracuse wins the game 23-21.
I'd be highly let down if this defense gives up more than 17 points. Highly let down.
Now, I'll tell you, this is a game that I like a lot for Saturday. I like Kentucky laying the 1.5 at home to Florida.
Oh, here, you're going to read
You
it
like
on
Kentucky? You want to go with Kentucky?
I like Kentucky laying the 1.5 to Florida. I believe Kentucky's the better team. Florida, they looked good against Tennessee, but they struggled against a bad
This is for
Charlotte
John.
team.
Read the bottom one.
Florida did nothing in the second half of the Tennessee game. I think they kind of surprised Tennessee in the first half with a couple of fluky kind of plays. And
What is going on?
Yeah. So you're going to go with Kentucky?
I'm
That's what
going
you're
with
saying.
Kentucky. I really like Kentucky.
That's a
in that game.
toss-up game
Careful.
for sure. We're going to find out a lot about each team, though. That's why I like games like this. Florida beats Tennessee. So is that more of a fact of Florida being good or Tennessee not being very good this year? We're going to find out. Kentucky's got Devin Leary, the NC State transfer from last year, the one Alabama missed out on.
They wish they had him right
Oh,
now.
yeah. They wish they had him. Alabama's in quarterback purgatory.
Yeah.
That's where Alabama's at.
I'm going to tell you another game I like Maryland laying the 14 against Indiana.
That's a big number. But
That's
I kind
a
of
big
like too,
number.
Indiana has looked awful this year. They've looked bad.
Yeah. But
sweating.
Indiana struggles to move the football. They
Yeah.
struggle to score.
Yeah.
Maryland's offense is pretty decent.
Yeah.
So I like Maryland to lay
should
the
score
wood to
30,
Indiana.
31 to 38
Is somebody
points.
keeping track of your picks? Because I haven't been.
Write them down,
I won them
David.
all.
I don't have a
I
pen.
don't know.
I didn't bring a pen today.
No
Write 'em
matter,
on
no
your
matter
phone.
what.
I
matter
came
what, I'm just gonna tell
unprepared
You got
today.
a notepad on your phone.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna,
that's let's
That's,
yeah.
that's too much.
Yeah.
I can't ask the guy to
Stop
write
it.
notes on his phone.
Stop it right there. Give me a piece of paper.
That's way too much.
Yeah. All right, here. All right. Do we have picks yet? Because I haven't been listening to either one of you.
the weekly.
I'm on Syracuse. Okay, this is my.
How
I'm
many
on,
picks have you
I'm
given?
on Syracuse plus the 6.5.
All right, hold on. Damien. All right, Syracuse. All right,
Kentucky minus
plus
1.5.
6.5. Kentucky, what?
Minus 1.5.
Okay.
Maryland minus the 14. Texas plus the 16.5.
Hold on, Texas. Plus what?
16 or Kansas plus 16.5. I'm sorry, Kansas plus 16.5.
Kansas.
And Vanderbilt plus 13.5. Those will be my 5 picks for
Vandy plus
Saturday.
what?
13.5. Those will be my 5 picks for Saturday.
Okay, John.
Let's. I'm going to go with Utah
Plus what? Minus what?
plus 4.5.
Okay.
Ukulele's going in.
3.5, by the way.
Oh, 4.5.
It's right here, 3.5.
But it's lines move. I just looked at it.
3.5.
I know, but the line's moved. It's 4.5.
All right. We'll just put it at 4.5. What else you got, John?
I don't know. I'm gonna tell you though.
Okay. I know you are.
We're gonna find out about Ukulele in that game because Utah's got probably the best defense in the country, and there's a reason that Dabo decided to go with Cade and ship Ukulele back out to the West Coast with his pops. So yeah, we're gonna find out about Ukulele against that dang Utah defense.
Listen,
So,
they're
that's
lucky
why
I
I'm
showed
rolling
up
with
today.
Utah. Utah shouldn't be dogs in that game. They shouldn't be dogs. Rolling with the Utes. So let's go Utah plus 4.5.
Here's the first page. Did you want Western Kentucky minus 6.5? You did say that before the game started.
No, not minus 6.5. I just did a money line on it. That wasn't one of the most. I did like Western Kentucky, and I like Jack State on the money line, but those are minus 200 and
No,
250. We don't give those
we're
out.
not playing those.
Yeah, we're not Vegas Dave. We don't give out minus 800 as pay me $300 to get a minus 800 pick. Yeah, we don't play in that world. But yeah, we got the Utah pick over on Louisville.
Oh, yeah,
NC
you
State
did say
tomorrow.
that one.
What is it?
I don't know,
It's
but
on
it's
the
going to
front
go
of that
over.
page.
I don't know, but just bet the
I
over.
think it was 50.
That's a good line.
it's
I have no
50.
idea.
55 and
It's
a half.
55 and a half. I was
Alright.
joking. I knew what it was. Yeah, 55 and a half. We're going with the over on Louisville, NC State. Let's see here. We are going to, oh, wow. Colorado getting 21 and a half again. I don't know what I'm doing there, but surprised to
I
see
will
that.
probably lay the 21 and a half.
Wow. Virginia plus 3.5 and Boston College minus 3.5 against home against Virginia. That's kind of an
Those are
interesting
two
game.
bad football teams.
Yeah, they're two bad football teams. But I've been watching a lot of both of them, though.
You like bad football.
I can bet on it, and I know a lot about Virginia. Tony Elliott, Virginia's head coach, was the offensive coordinator.
I would say, I'll tell you though, Virginia's actually played a little bit better since they got the other quarterback.
Yeah, they got another quarterback. They almost beat NC State Friday night.
They gave NC State fits.
Yeah, NC State almost blew that game. That was incredible. Nebraska's getting 17 and a half against Michigan. Give me the Rock Chalk Jayhawk. Kansas plus 16 and a half.
I already took that one.
Well, look it. Kansas plus 16 and a half.
You guys can pick the same game. You guys picked this
No,
2 weeks ago. You picked the same one over.
I said no, but you let it happen anyway.
We went 5-0, David.
Well, that's what happens when
I think we actually both
Damien-
did go 5-0.
We did
on
go
the
5-0.
college games.
sometimes
Yeah.
sometimes you get to do things when you're in charge.
Yeah, I was great in the
They
college
didn't
2 weeks
see
ago,
us,
and I
though.
was 2-3 in the NFL.
Right. They didn't hear us last week, but the week before we went 5-0. Nobody
Yeah.
knows that.
That's right.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
both
We went 5-0.
they both
We
went
both
5.
we both went 5-0 in college. I went 2-3 on the NFL.
Yeah.
With the 5 picks
Yeah.
NFL I gave.
NFL's the no fun league.
Well,
around
you
here.
say that, but I've only lost one game this year.
Al,
So-
you're an anomaly. Unbelievable. That no fun league.
The no fun league. I like it.
Oh, here's a good one. Maybe it's a trap game, but I'm going to take it. They're going to trap me up in the mousetrap all day on this one. We're going Purdue pick 'em against Illinois. We're going Purdue as a pick 'em. 53 and a half, Damien. I don't think they could crack that. 53 and a half, Illinois, Purdue? I wouldn't think so. I'm going to go Purdue, though. Illinois, and it's at home, too. Give me the Boilermakers. Give me the Boilers on that one. LSU Ole Miss, we're staying away from that. The Cox are getting 12 and a half against Tennessee.
What?
The Cox are getting 12 and a half against Tennessee.
No?
That's a tough one, too. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to trust Spencer Rattler and that offensive line. I mean, I just don't trust him.
No, you guys went between you 10-0
Yeah.
2 weeks ago on college.
Absolutely.
That's
did.
insane.
Yeah, it is. It should
I don't care.
happen all the
I don't
time.
care if you had a bad NFL day. That shouldn't happen.
I'm more depressed about the bad NFL 2-3 day. That's supposed to be my wheelhouse is the NFL, and I went 2-3, so I wasn't thrilled.
We're going to take under 36 and a half on, did you hear me? 36.5.
Is that Iowa?
Iowa.
Iowa. This guy knows. Michigan State, Iowa. Under 36.5, Michigan State, Iowa.
That's his 5 right there.
Yeah. Well, he can bet more if he wants. It's allowed. But we only like 5 picks.
Okay. Give me Washington to keep crushing. The Huskies and Michael Penix Jr.
What's
have
the
been crushing all
18
year.
and a half.
Yep.
What's the spread?
Washington minus 18.5.
All right.
I know it's a big number. I know it's on the road, but Arizona's not any good. Washington should, as they say in horse racing, walk up and down the field on Arizona.
I'm not going to put
They say
this
that
as
in
one of my
horse
picks.
racing?
They walked around, yeah. The 9-horse walked around.
I've never heard of that.
I
They
will
walked
say-
up and down
Oh,
the
he
track.
walked around the track.
there's
Yeah.
Not up and down.
there
Come on, get with me, David.
There was one other
I hear you
college game I
barking.
really thought about giving out as a pick. I'm not going to. I don't want it to count on my sheet.
What?
I like Duke against getting 5.5 at home
Yeah,
against
that's
Notre Dame.
game day's going to Duke, David.
Yes, we know that.
Yeah, college game day going to Durham
The
for
way
football, not basketball.
the way Notre Dame lost last week, man, it's going to be tough to recover from that.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
Duke is going to be sky high for
yeah,
that
it's
game.
gonna be sky high.
Sky high.
And Riley Leonard's a gutty quarterback. I mean, he is. The guy doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He's not going to win. He's not going to win you
it's
a
a,
game.
it's a veteran senior laden
Yes.
team.
Exactly. Yep. Very well coached. Mike Elko's got them going good. They win 41-6 or 41-7 Saturday on the road against UConn. UConn's a middle to lower tier team in all of college football, but 41-7 on the road, and it's Duke. I mean,
Yeah.
You know,
So,
5.5 though. There's a reason it's only 5.5 because Duke's rolling.
should we go a break and prepare ourselves for our NFL?
Yeah. Let's take
Yeah,
a break.
all right.
now.
We're gonna take
Hey,
a break.
Russell, where'd Russell go?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, we got to wait till Russell. All right.
We gotta wait.
We
till
got to
what?
wait. We got relax.
Yeah.
Wait.
What are we
Relax.
waiting
The
on?
sound guy is here, but he's not here.
What are you talking about, David?
Send us to break.
That's what I was doing. You said, hold on. Don't do
Well,
it
because
yet.
the sound guy wasn't here, but you're over there.
Okay. We're going to take a break.
We're
back in
going
a
on
few
break.
minutes.
Break.
a ticket.
That's a winner.
Are we on?
And we're
We're
back
on.
here at this
We're back.
Thursday night, getting a little action going with Green Bay and Detroit kicking off.
That's right.
Yep.
David.
We got any scores in the Thursday night college football games that have kicked off already? I'm loading it up now. You need the Detroit Lions. David always needs the Detroit Lions.
Well, I'm going to need them all year,
He's
John.
got a futures bet on them to win the division.
That's right. This is a big game.
Yeah.
Big game. Yeah. And Damien's taking his sweet ass time getting back here.
Well, Western Kentucky 7-0.
Uh,
Western Kentucky against Middle Tennessee State 7-0 Western.
What's that?
Western Kentucky up 7-0, doing what they should, take care of business. I got them on the money line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the line? 6.5?
7.
7.
They're a much better team, should win. Everything else is just kind of early. Tulsa Temple. That's kind of a terrible game. 7-3 though.
Where's the NFL sheet, John?
Right there, probably.
There it is. I'll leave that. All right, we're gonna let Damien sit back down here. I think he had to go get a refreshment. They treat us so good here.
Yeah, and while we were gone to South Carolina, Wayno got his 200th win.
He did. While we were gone out of town, Wayno got his 200th win, and no more pitching. He's done.
He done.
He
He's
done.
for life.
I'm glad he got it. It looked
Done
pretty
for-
rough, like he wasn't gonna get
Yeah,
it.
it was a cool little start too.
Yeah.
7 scoreless innings.
Yep.
You know.
Yep, they let him go.
Baseball's
We're
getting
talking about
into
Wayno's 200th.
Yeah, baseball
Did you
getting
watch
into
it,
the
Damien?
playoffs.
Yeah, he pitched well that day. I saw some of it.
What do we got here tonight?
Just
You got your over on the Pirates this year?
Cardinals clinched last place, which makes me happy.
Well, so at the beginning of baseball season, Damien gave out the Pirates on the over for the season, and it was 67.5. It went way over.
I went 4-1. I did lose Toronto.
Yeah.
So
More cashers for you, Damien.
4 out of 5. I'll take.
So I have to
4 out
ask
of
you.
5.
I got to ask, and I should know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask anyway. Once you win your bet, can you cash, or you got to wait till the end of the season?
Gotta wait till you play 160 games.
At least 160.
Wow, I
Gotta
didn't
play
know
160.
Okay.
That. Okay.
I should know the answer to that.
I
but now
didn't know
now
that.
I do.
I don't do a lot of
The
futures.
only exception to that is like for like a division winner.
Oh, okay. If they win the division.
Once they win the division, they win the division.
Okay.
Like for example, if Baltimore wins tonight, they win their division.
Yeah.
So I have a friend who bet a lot of money on Baltimore over before the year started. Then he bet Baltimore to win the division.
What was it? What were the, what
Cash
was the line?
both of them on that.
What was the line?
Their total was 78.5. If I
Oh,
remember
what a
right.
gift that was.
I know,
And,
right?
and I believe they were like plus 380
Oh, wow.
on to win the division.
Wow.
Wow.
So yeah, he's
Wow.
and he had a pretty significant amount on it. So I believe he had I know he had 3,000 on the over. And I believe he had 1,500 on him to win the division.
First time in a long time that the Yankees, the Mets, the Red Sox, and the Cardinals
All out.
all out of the
playoffs.
playoffs.
Yeah. Get somebody new in there.
Yeah.
I know I'd rather be the Cardinals, but get somebody new in there.
Yep.
Who you like to go all the way, Damien?
I think Atlanta's the best team.
Yeah.
I thought that before the year started. I'm staying with it.
Did you bet them?
I bet him to win the division.
Okay.
That was one of my winners.
Well, I got 3. This weekend's it, David.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
3-4 games left.
End of September.
And,
Astros to get 2.5 behind the Rangers. So.
game and a half ahead of the third wild card spot.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like the
Who's
Astros will
who's
play
barely
the
squeaking
Twins.
in, John? I want the team who's barely squeaking in this year.
They're for
It's
division
the
or wild
Astros
card.
right now.
Yeah, Astros to win the World Series. What do you think you can get on them right now?
4 or 5 to 1.
That gotta be-
6 to 1.
Got to be higher than that.
I would think no, they'll be they would be
10 to 1?
they'd be better than they would probably be 6 or 7 to 1.
Okay.
I mean
They're going to win 89, 90 games.
they'll be ahead of Minnesota. They'll be ahead of because they have top of the rotation and they have good lineup. They're a better they're a tougher team to play in a short series. Once you take out the Astros' 5th starter, they're a lot better. So
Orioles in the season with the Red Sox. 4-game series with the Red Sox. They are 2.5 in front of the Rays.
They hold the tiebreaker over Tampa. So if
And the Rays finish with the Blue Jays.
Rays are in Toronto.
Wow.
But yeah, they like I said, Baltimore holds the tiebreaker, so that's why.
So
they're in
Baltimore
such
just
good
has
shape.
to win what?
One game. Their magic number is 1.
Wow.
'Cause
Even
if
with
Three
two
left,
and a half
right?
lead?
Yeah, so even if both teams finish with the same record, the first tiebreaker now is who won the season series.
Okay. And then Baltimore won the season.
And Baltimore won. I believe they won 8-5.
Yeah.
So it was either 8-5 or 7-6. That's why they played 13 games in the divisions. So somebody has to win the season series.
What do we?
Yeah.
5 minutes from kickoff. 5 minutes?
Yeah, 5 minutes from the Detroit kickoff.
All right. Let's get into the NFL. We got a lot to cover.
Yeah.
Damien, I know as John calls it the no fun
The
league.
no fun league.
we're gonna
'cause
give
it
our
crushed
pick.
me last week.
We're gonna give
How
out
did
our picks
last week
anyway.
even happen, David? Jacksonville loses to Houston.
Yeah, I don't understand. that.
Baltimore loses to an Anthony Richardson-less Colts.
Gardner
Baltimore-
Minshew.
Gardner Minshew comes out
Minshew.
from the grave.
Baltimore's down 7 starters last week.
Yeah.
I loved Indianapolis.
Minshew. Plus 8.5 was a gift. An absolute gift.
This is your first of 4 weeks where you have a game in Europe. So this week at 8:30 in the morning our
Oh.
time, you'll have Jacksonville and Atlanta
We got some wake-up action. Jacksonville, Atlanta.
in London. So Drake London of the Falcons will be playing in London,
Yep.
and this game's a nasty game. I'll probably, I hate
Memory, just give the picks you really want to give.
Yeah, I'm gonna lay the 3 with Jacksonville, but I don't love it. It's not. No, don't write.
Don't
that.
write it.
I'm
Don't
done.
write it down. He says.
I'm gonna
Do
tell you
not
what I'm gonna
write.
take, but I don't love it. So I'm not. Don't be.
Take it, but he's not betting it.
No, I'm gonna bet it. I'm just not gonna bet it very big. So that's your 8:30 game on Sunday. Next week starts the bye weeks, by the way, for some of you who don't realize that, or fantasy purposes. Early games Saturday.
This week or next week's the bye?
Next week.
Not this week. Next week. Okay. All right.
There'll be another game. Jacksonville will also be playing next week, also overseas. I believe they play Buffalo. I believe
2
next
of them?
week. Yeah, they're back to back on the road. Back to back games in.
So they just stay in London, huh?
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm not sure if the Jacksonville Buffalo game is in Germany. There is one game in Frankfurt, Germany this year. I don't
It's
remember.
got to be
if
a
it's-
little bit of a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
for
For both teams. I mean, I'm just saying. I guess it's not great for either team with the
No.
time change.
Washington and Philly. I'm going to take Washington in the 9 points on.
Am I writing this
Sunday.
down?
Yes, write Washington in the 9.
That's what I like too.
You know what? Write me down one of these no fun league picks this week anyway. I'm going to roll with Trevor and ETN. Give me Jacksonville -3. I'm going to roll with my boy Trevor.
Minus what?
-3. I'm going to see if I can create a world where he can get an extra year of eligibility. Not going to happen.
Baltimore's going to Cleveland. Baltimore's got a couple of those players coming back this week.
They're getting 3 points.
They're getting 3 points. That Cleveland defense is ferocious.
Yeah, over under 40 and a half.
Absolutely
Wow.
ferocious. I will give that under out as one of my picks.
That's what
Under
I like.
40 and a half.
That's one of mine too.
I think Cleveland covers as well, but I'm gonna go with the under in that game. I think points will be at a strong premium for that game. So, but the fun game of your day, the fun game of the week's been really fun the last couple of weeks. Last week it was,
Oh yeah.
last week it was Minnesota and the Chargers, and don't ask me how I lost both sides of that game. Oh my God, I haven't seen a more inept coaching performance by both teams in the final 2 minutes of a game, maybe in
Oh well.
the NFL.
You
in
missed the
years.
Clemson game then.
No, what happened in that the Minnesota Chargers game they make both Clemson coaches look like MIT grads.
Wow.
That's how bad coach that game was on both sides. Just an embarrassment. Both those coaches should be fired. I don't care if the Chargers won. Staley needs to go. He's just inept.
Been there a
horrible
while.
game man. Yeah, he's a horrible game manager. Horrible. Doesn't have his team prepared half the time. That's a better quality team than. Oh man, losing Mike Williams also is a killer for that team.
Mhm.
And that team's got more talent than it does brains. You know, that's an underachieving roster. But anyway, Buffalo, Miami, your fun game of the day on Sunday morning.
Am I writing
Well-
this down?
No, this one we're not writing down. Buffalo's laying 2.5. I'm going to lay the 2.5 in this game, but it's not one that I'm not sitting here telling everybody, oh, I think you really have to play this. I do like Buffalo in that game. Tampa's going to New Orleans.
I'm taking Tampa plus the 3.5.
See, I would be on New Orleans minus the 3.5. in this
Am I writing it down?
Yes, you're writing that one down.
Okay.
Even with Jameis Winston, the backup quarterback going, Tampa Bay was absolutely embarrassed. That Philadelphia game was way more lopsided than the final score was.
I understand,
Monday
but Philadelphia is much, much better than New Orleans.
night. New Orleans defense is ferocious. Marshawn Lattimore owns Mike Evans. I really like. I like New Orleans even with the backup quarterback. I just think they got better weapons, a much better defense, and they're at home. I'm going to lay the 3.5 with New Orleans.
The Saints come marching in. Write it down for Damien.
Yeah.
What about you?
Nah.
Nah.
All
right.
Minnesota, Carolina. It looks like Bryce Young is coming back to play in this game. Carolina actually looked pretty efficient offensively last week with Andy Dalton. I was kind of surprised. I mean, he looked good. He Adam Thielen found the fountain of youth for 1 week. I'm going to stay away from that game.
I figured you would.
I don't like it. I'd put a gun to my head. I'd take 4.5 because if I don't know which way to go, I always take the home team in points.
Jordan Love just takes a big sack
Yes, I got under 21.5. I just bet it.
in the
Under
Detroit game.
21.5.
Okay, lock it in.
Lock it in.
The next game on your list is the complete dog game of the week. Basically, it's Clemson of the NFL. It's the Bears and the Broncos.
Ugh.
If you're betting this game, you got real issues.
I'm sure I'll be in action.
I'll be in action, but I have real issues, and they don't just
Yeah.
pertain to me betting football either.
right,
It
right,
goes
right.
much further than that.
We know.
But,
Broncos Bears is rough.
Denver's laying 3.
Denver shouldn't be laying anything. Neither one to either. This shouldn't even be
This
a
is-
bettable game.
This is a game where normally I would, if either team was playing somebody that just won last week, I would be on the team that just got embarrassed.
Missed this field goal, Damien.
Both these teams got embarrassed.
He made it, didn't he?
Did Green Bay kick a field goal?
Yeah.
Was that the first points?
Yeah.
Damien just won a prop bet.
All right.
All right, prop
Let's
bet.
go.
They
Prop,
call-
prop bet, here it is. First score of the game, Green Bay field goal.
Let's see. 25 to win 112.
very nice.
So,
Green Bay.
You said field goal.
First
Green
field
Bay,
goal.
yeah, field goal. First score
Wow.
of the game.
He doesn't
Green
let
Bay
us
field
in on
goal.
that one.
Well, he's got a stack of them here. Jesus.
Well, we're
So,
degens. We would bet
25.
all of
I
those.
Bring back
bet Green. I
100.
told you what I bet. I told you I
Whoa.
bet Green Bay, and I told you my prop bets that I bet.
I wish we'd have put that in the parlay.
So
I
That would
know,
have paid
right?
a gazillion if we'd have
We
put it
need.
in the
We got. We
parlay.
still got
Well,
first touchdown bets.
yeah, we have the first touchdown bets. That's what we're. Now we need Amon-Ra St. Brown for while Detroit has the ball.
Yeah, we need no more scoring. Under 21.5.
Everybody's got their own. We need a lot of things.
No more
Yeah,
scoring.
no more scoring.
21.5. Under 21.5.
I'm not
first
okay
down.
with no more scoring.
Your next noon game, by the way, is
I know, but we're in the middle. As long as we go over your number and under mine, we can both hit it. Yeah. We got like a 6-point middle.
So your next game on Sunday is Cincinnati at Tennessee. Cincinnati is laying 2.5 at Tennessee.
Oh God, Cincinnati looks
Joe
bad.
Joe Burrow looks so limited. Cincinnati is not going to be able to run the football in that
Yeah.
game. They're going to have to throw the football. They're going to have to do everything they can to keep Burrow safe.
Well, I'm interested in toys.
Is he still
I-
hurt?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you could watch him. Even in Monday night game, he did not look good.
Yeah.
Cincinnati had one
They
touchdown.
played okay. Chase played amazing.
Well, yeah, Cincinnati had one touchdown drive and 4 field goals of 48 yards or longer.
Yeah.
They weren't really that efficient offensively.
Yeah, it's like they didn't look great, but it looked
So
okay.
I
guess.
I'd be on Tennessee in this game.
Getting
and
points
the,
at home?
and the under, yes.
Yeah, what's the over under?
40 and a
Am
half.
I writing it down?
Yeah, give me the under as one of my picks. 40 and a half.
Okay. All right.
Here's another noon game. This one's the Rams are 1-point favorites at Indianapolis.
I'm all over Indy.
It looks like
me
Anthony
Indy.
Richardson is going to play in this.
I'm going to take Indy -1. What? Indy plus
Plus
one?
one.
Indy +1.
Yeah, if this is what happens, I will be on Indianapolis as well.
Am I writing it down?
No, but I will be on Indy in this game
Got
as
it.
well.
Yep.
Now remember I took the 2 long shots to win the divisions before the year. I took Indianapolis and Denver. Denver's obviously I might as well just throw that one away. Indianapolis could come through on that. They lead, they're 2-1 right now. I mean, and they look legitimate. And if you remember, I bet Anthony Richardson to be Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
He's got it. I mean, he looks really good. I mean, the 2 games he played, he looked really good in those 2 games.
I like the Steelers. The next game, Steelers
Yes.
-2.5.
Steelers
against
minus
Houston.
2.5
Yeah, that's
at
mine.
Houston.
Yeah.
I will also be on Pittsburgh minus 2.5.
Write it.
Yep. Give me Pittsburgh minus 2.5. That's the end of your noon games. There's only 3 o'clock games.
That's pretty rare.
Yeah. The first one's the Raiders and the Chargers. Well, those are 2. That's one bad team against one badly coached team right there.
5.5's a lot.
5.5's a lot of points for a badly coached team who just lost. Eckler probably isn't going. I know he practiced today.
Yeah.
The Chargers happen to be one of the teams on bye
Eckler's
next
a big
week.
loss.
I don't think Eckler. I think they're just going to keep Eckler out for another game. Figure they can probably beat the Raiders without him, and go into the bye at 2-2 is my guess. Not having Mike Williams in this game. Jimmy Garoppolo is in the concussion protocol. I can't tell anybody to play this game. I have no opinion on somebody playing this side of this game. So I'm staying away from it. I'd probably take the Raiders if you put a gun to my head, but I'm not. Don't play it. That's my best advice to you. Your next 3 o'clock game is San Francisco and Arizona. Frisco's laying 14.
Oof.
Arizona's been surprising.
I know.
Impressive.
Yeah. I don't understand.
I mean, they
They're
lost.
supposed to be the worst team in the NFL, and they're playing
They
well.
lost a close game to Washington.
Yeah.
They should have beat the Giants. I think
Should have beat the Giants.
I think they just got tired. They got worn out in the second half of that Giant, and they lost their best defensive player.
and
in
then
that
dominated
game.
the entire Cowboys
And then they
game.
dominated. They were the better team in that Cowboys game.
Which is unbelievable.
Yeah,
The way
but
that the Cowboys played their first 2 games.
I will say this is a game where Arizona's strength is running up against San Francisco's strength. San Francisco's also had 11 days to get ready for this game. Frisco's coming off the mini bye after playing that Thursday night game.
Yep. 14's
14's
a lot.
a lot of points.
Lot.
I'm not touching it.
Yeah.
I will
Lay off.
Yes,
Lay off game.
I will probably, because I play every game, I will probably play Arizona small. But I'm not. Don't get too invested.
I
in
didn't
that
like
game.
laying 10 Thursday night with San Fran, but they were so much the
Oh,
better of the team.
I love San Francisco Thursday. No Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
The Giants' offense is absolutely inept. Could not run the football. I'm wondering if that's another guy. The Seattle Giants Monday night game. I'm staying away from. I won't tell anybody. I won't give a pick on that until I find out if Barkley's playing.
Oh,
or
you
not.
missed one.
I have. We missed 2 right now.
Okay.
So I'm just going to skip the Monday night game with the Giants and the Seahawks because I don't know what's going on with Saquon Barkley yet. The next game on the schedule for Sunday afternoon was the Patriots and the Cowboys. I love New England in this game getting 6.5. You can write that down. I'm taking
All
New
right.
England at 6.5 in that game. New England's got power running game, which is the type of running game that gives Dallas trouble. Their defense is good enough. It's not a great defense, but it's a good enough defense that Dallas isn't going to be able to just roll over them. I expect Dallas to win a 20-17 kind of game. Detroit's got a big play. It looks like Laporta just got a big play down to the 23-yard line.
That's not good, David.
For
That's
Wait till the
Jones.
second
Detroit.
Is
half.
Jones?
It looked like I think it was Laporta, the tight end.
Wait till the second half to start cheering. For
Yeah,
points.
I got a whole season to root for Detroit, but
I
they got
know,
it.
so just
They,
don't root for
but
them
they
these
got they got
next
they
12
got
minutes.
they.
Yeah.
we need
they got to win. I got to win this game.
we need the
John?
sun god to score on this for Amon-Ra St. Brown here. So and then the last game that we haven't talked about yet is the Chiefs and the Jets. The dumpster.
Yeah, the no
The
fun
dump-
league. Here we go
Amon-Ra
again.
St. Brown just scored a touchdown for Detroit, so we can put that in our winning column.
Yeah, he had a.
So that's
Oh,
success. We did
oh, woo! Go cash that. Yeah, go cash
let me
that.
see.
wait, make sure it's official yet.
Let me see.
Yes,
Oh,
all four of us, everybody but him.
Wow.
Russell, you get $90, right?
Yeah,
Wow.
Here, okay. Russell, you get $92.50. Win for Russell.
Wow.
I'm in for that. Can't pay the man, but we can win a bet for him.
so yeah,
And it crushes my
gotta
first
pay,
half bet.
gotta pay Russell somehow.
And it crushes my first half under 21 and a half.
No, it doesn't. It does not. It's
Why
only.
don't you take 21 and a half?
I
genius,
don't
right
want it,
now.
but it's
right
not.
now. Take
It's
it.
too
Buy
early.
it from me for 5 freaking cents. Mister, it's too early. There's 85 minutes left.
It's
in
too
the half.
early. It's way too early.
so you're so anyway, we're talking about the Chiefs and the Jets.
In
That-
my fantasy, St. Brown to be a captain was 1.5 times. Just too much. I need Gibbs to have a big game
So
somehow.
and anyway, I was
Oh, really? Okay, we'll wait.
We
How the
cashed
hell is
that.
We,
No,
we
you
cashed
can't.
out. We cashed out the Hawkinson one after.
That's all right.
we got to
Well,
wait for a little bit.
we gotta wait.
So we'll just wait a few minutes.
That's all right.
So
You get $90. You get $90. You get $90. I get $90. Sorry, John. John does not get $90. John, do not pass go. Do
And
not
I
collect
lose the
that.
21 and a half.
It's not.
That's
You haven't
just
lost
sweet.
that yet. You
Why don't you
haven't.
buy it for 5 cents from me, you know?
How much is the bet?
I got under 21 and
I
a
know.
half
How much
first
is the
half.
bet? How much is
And
the bet?
$1 million.
No, no. How much did you bet?
$5 million.
How much did you
Worry
bet?
about it. Doesn't
I'm
matter.
gonna buy your ticket.
I don't want.
so the
I want to buy your
They
ticket.
can't buy it. It's on the site.
Okay.
the last game is the last game we didn't talk about is the Sunday night snoozer, the Chiefs and the Jets.
I'm trying to buy a ticket from him.
I'm going to tell you, something tells me the Jets managed to keep this game within 9 points against the Chiefs.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me.
That's
I mean,
3 weeks in a row on
the Jets
Thursday
are
night.
keeping
I've hit
every game
first
close.
touchdown score. That's awesome.
So
That's it.
you're welcome for my pick, by the way.
By the way,
it was me that
Three
it was me that took
three
St.
Thursday
Brown.
nights in a row. First touchdown.
And yeah, thank
Props.
you. It was me that did them.
That's
all.
incredible.
Yes, it was Damien.
It was
That's
me.
incredible.
So,
That's incredible. $5 to win $255 last
Yeah,
Thursday.
buddy.
Ronnie Bell.
You're all.
John, do you have any more picks?
I'm all picked out.
He's all picked out.
Yeah.
All right,
Just
I got.
another great pick on the No Fun League tonight for me.
Well, it's not over.
Just another great.
It's not over, John.
The
Way too
No
early to.
Fun League.
Way too early. You got anything else before we wrap up?
Oh, I think we went through all the NFL games.
Syracuse won't score more than 17. I'll be highly upset if they allow more than 17.
Syracuse wins 23-20.
That defense is going to be fired up. That defense we've seen Saturday only gave up 17 to Florida State.
Yeah, but the problem is the offense gave up 7.
Yep. Our offensive score has allowed more points than our defense.
Yes, actually, yes.
38 to 36. Our
Yes.
offense is allowed more than our
I need to
defense.
take a picture of this and send this to you guys.
All right.
Are we out of here?
Yeah. That's all,
All
I
right,
got,
we will
guys.
see you
All right.
all
Till
next week.
Next week?
Let's have a good weekend.
Oh,
and-
wait. Before we go, we have to wish Catholic Gal at
Oh.
Churchill Downs, I think race 8 or race 9 tomorrow.
Okay.
Riffy and Vito own Catholic Gal running at Churchill Downs tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night, whatever it is.
What race is it?
We're going to find out. Let me
What
go
race
to
number?
the chat. It says,
Uh,
Riffy, we wish you a safe
There it
and
is.
great.
race
trip?
3.
Oh, it's race 3?
That's what Riffy said.
All right. Race 3 at Churchill
race
Downs.
3, Churchill Downs, Catholic Gal.
$127,000 purse.
Yeah. So
Wow.
first place wins what?
60% of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. How many horses will be in that race?
That's a good question. I don't know. I have to look it up. I'd have to look
7,
it up.
14?
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
not 14.
10?
I'm going to guess between 7 and 10. I have no
Okay,
idea.
Between 7 and 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
4 to
All
1.
right, Churchill tomorrow, race 3.
4 to 1 morning line.
All right.
I like it. Good luck, guys. All right. I think we're out of here.
Yep.
All right.
We
All right.
are out here till
We'll
next
see you
week,
next
guys.
Thursday.
See you guys